There's something fascinating that happens when a person begins to notice just how much they're already changing, even before they realise how deeply it began. Because maybe the real transformation never starts with effort, but a recognition that the old rules, the old models, they don't apply anymore. And as you're hearing now, you can just allow your unconscious mind to begin sorting, integrating, layering new possibilities. You see, I used to believe things had to be earned. Forgiveness, love, self-worth. But now I know, much like a flame doesn't ask for permission to burn, your worth doesn't need approval to exist. Imagine a child forgotten in the corner, quiet, invisible. Yet what grows in that silence isn't weakness, but depth, empathy, insight. The ones who are overlooked, they often see the most. And that's the first shift, isn't it? Recognizing your past was not your prison, but your preparation. Mistakes were lessons. Loneliness was presence. Pain, that was training for compassion. So as you hear these words, you drift between them. You can realize that now. You're remembering what it always meant to be free of judgment, to look in the mirror and see someone whole, not perfect, but complete. Because who says you have to keep carrying stories that don't serve you anymore? Just like a computer clears its cache to run smoother, you can begin now to gently uninstall every limiting belief that told you you're not enough, and install a new truth that you are enough. You're enough. You're always enough. Isn't it true? Those are the most forgiving. They're not the ones who avoid pain, but the ones who transformed it. Forgiveness, like a river flowing over stone. It doesn't erase the rock, it softens it, rounds the edges, makes it smooth, bearable, beautiful. So even now, you might begin to wonder, what part of you is already softening, already shifting into a new identity? An identity that says, I forgive because I'm free. I love because I am love. I accept because resistance never healed anything. When people set boundaries, some think it means pushing people out. But really, isn't it about pulling yourself in? Pulling your energy back into you, centering your power. And the more centered you are, the more naturally others respond, because reality is a mirror after all. When you radiate self-respect, the world reflects it back. What if this new belief system is not something you need to learn, but something you only needed to remember? Because somewhere deep down, before the voices, the doubts, there was a knowing that you're loved, that you're supported, that you were born enough. So now, the question isn't, how do I become that? It's, what do I let go of so I can return to it? Like peeling an orange, each layer falls away. Not to create something new, but to reveal what was always at the centre. You know how people, they walk into a room and just change the air? They don't need to speak, because their energy says everything. That's what presence is. It's not in the performance, it's in the permission to be fully yourself. And maybe as you breathe now, you're giving yourself that same permission to show up real, flawed, soft, strong, human. And here's the trick, the mind loves patterns, so every time you say, I forgive, I accept, I am love, you're creating a new pathway, a new operating system that doesn't need effort. It just runs, because it's aligned with who you really are. Let me give you a few examples. Imagine someone says something hurtful to you. In the old system, you might shrink, attack, or ruminate. But in this system, you pause, you breathe, you say, that's their pain, not my truth. You hold your boundary, and you walk away with love. You make a mistake before the critic screamed. Now, you smile. I learned. I'm growing. And I love who I'm becoming. Mistakes that are mirrors, not chains. You're alone, but instead of fear, you feel full, because solitude is space, and space is where stars are born. And the more you live this way, the more effortless it becomes. You feel it in your body. Lighter shoulders, deeper breaths, clearer thoughts. What's really happening here is the beliefs, the traits, the patterns. They're no longer things you're trying to do. They're just who you are, who you've always been. Because let's face it, you were never broken. You were becoming, and now you're remembering.